Hey there, welcome back friends. In this video we will move forward and we will check couple of more things related to client building steps. Alright, so here is our existing application and this application is currently showing up this output using the client request on the URL which is highlighted in front of you. Now this is cool stuff, but when we check the entire steps which are required to get this step, then definitely there are like multiple things. First of all, we need to target a URL, then we need to request, and we can also request based on a media type which we want, and finally we can get the response. Now even the response, the get method can be passed with a class, and based on the class we will get the response. This is cool, this is nice stuff. But now moving forward we will check couple of more things. The individual step, which type of what we say output we get individually out of these steps, we will check it in this video. So first of all, let me get rid of these two lines and let me add a semicolon in here. Now friends, as soon as we make use of the semicolon, this will be a complete statement, and definitely this particular line, this statement will return an object of web target type. So let me change it to web target, and let me also update the name of the object. Alright, now friends, what exactly is this web target? A web target object is nothing but an object of client target type, and using this web target we can build a URL. We will definitely dig more and we will use this web target in couple of minutes. Now moving forward, let us check what this request will return. So in here, in order to call this request method, we need to make use of this web target object, then only we can request. A request will be always based on a target, right? So in here, if we check, this will return something. Now if I play on a very simple Eclipse trick and I press Ctrl+1 by highlighting this web target variable, then definitely there will be couple of options, and one of the option would be assign a statement to a new local variable. So let me use this, and definitely this particular method, the request method, will return a builder object. So let me make use of a builder variable. Here we go, and finally we can get the response using this builder. So it would be like builder.get, and definitely we will get a response based on the class which we pass on. Now as of now we won't pass on a string, we will simply make use of a raw get method, and we will also check how we can extract information out of a raw get method. Alright, so this looks good, and we will receive, again we will play the trick, Ctrl+1, and we will assign the what we say value to a new local variable, and we will get a response. Now friends, we can definitely like convert the response to string, but definitely there would be a issue. We won't be able to read the information. Instead, there is a couple of methods in here. Let me show you. So in here, one of the method would be read entity. Here we go. So using this read entity, we can like pass on a type, and the type would be string.class, and our work will be done. We will get a output which will be readable. Now friends, we can easily make out that there are like multiple steps involved when it comes to hitting a URL and getting the output out of it. So definitely a client building is a fairly complicated process. Alright, so now let me quickly run this application and let me show you what would be the outcome, and we should be able to get a proper output out of this as well. Alright, the app is up and running. Let me navigate to JAX-RS/app URL, and here is the output, the same output, right? This is nice. Now friends, moving forward, if we check in here, we are making use of web target and we are hard coding the URL. This is not a good idea. For example, after deployment the base URL changes, then how come you will handle the scenario? hard coding things is not a good solution. Rather, it would be good if we create a web target and then we concatenate the specific types later down the line. In that case, even if our base URL changes, we will make the change in one place and our application will start running. So for example, this web target is a target which will work as a base URL, for example, and we would like to hit to a web target which is /brands/ the brand ID, for example. In that case, what we will do is we will type in web target and we will give this name as base brands URL, right? So in order to get the brands information, we will make use of base brand URL. Now, in order to get a specific brand, so in here, we will create a new web target which would be brand URL equals base brand URL. Alright, so there is a typo. Let me fix this. Dot path. So in here, what we can do is we can add in a value and that value would be concatenated. So for example, in here, the value is maybe 3. And using this brand URL, we can definitely make a request. So it would be like this. And let me hit enter a couple of times. So this part is different where we are simply building the URLs, and these 3 statements are different where we are requesting. And definitely using this convention, what we can do is we can always make use of base brand URL for building the URLs. And whenever we build the URL, it would be convenient for us. Why? Because for example, we deploy this application into some different server and the base URL, base brand URL, and the base URL changes to some other URL, then we can simply make the changes for this variable and our application will start working. Alright, so now with this small little change, let me show you what would be the outcome. Alright, the application is up and running. The URL is there with us. Let me refresh this page and we should get a updated output where we will get the information related to the brand ID 3. And here is the output, right? So we have the information related to brand ID 3, including the information of links, which is nothing but the response which we have received from our API. Let me show you the exact response which we are getting out of this call. So let me open up Postman and let me try to show you the output. Here is the output which we have got out of it. This is the exact output which is in front of us in the form of a string. Alright, so let me show you this same output. Let me expand this a little. We have the link information and we have the product information with ID 3. Perfect. But friends, there is a issue. In here again, we are hard coding this ID. Can we do something about it? Yes, indeed, we can do something about it. In place of this hard coded 3, we will make use of a variable. So it would be like this. Braces, and inside the braces we will give the name, and the name could be, for example, brand ID. Now whenever we would like to like a request using this URL, we need to also resolve with this particular variable, right? So the way is very simple. Before calling in this request method, we will call in a yet another method, and the method would be resolve template. Here we go. And firstly we need to give the name, and name would be, for example, brand ID, and then we need to give the value. Value will be again in the form of a string, and we will give 3, for example, in here. Alright, so this looks good, and now when we will run this application, we will definitely get a proper output. Now friends, rather giving the proper output, we will also fix this application furthermore. We won't create these additional what we say variables. We will uncomplicate things. So in here it would be like, let me get rid of this. It would be like dot get, and we will get the data in the form of a string, and definitely we will return the string. So it would be like string response, and we will return the response. So it will simplify things a little, and we know what are the steps involved. So this is perfect. And now finally let me run this application again. So let me redeploy this, and this will take a couple of seconds. Let me pause this video. Alright, the application is up and running. Let me navigate to Jex rs/app API URL, and here is the output. Let me expand things a little. So definitely we are getting the information for brand ID 3, and everything is looking good. We can again like update this value to 6 for example, and we will again get some output out of it. Let me refresh this page, and we will get a new output. Here we go. So now we have the information with brand ID 6, where the brand name is Bajaj, and there are like a couple of more information related to the brand. Alright, so this is it for today's video. In our next video, we will check a couple of more things related to client building, and we will explore more. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.